All right. So Chris did a video on this for a second last week. I need to talk more about it. There is a guy that the Detroit Lions signed to their active roster last week, and we're all kind of like, huh. And I think about going way back, and I'm talking preseason football. And it was the final game of the preseason. And I remember me and Chris even talking about this guy and being like, is he going to make this team? Because he is flat out making plays out there, and he looks way more athletic and way faster than we ever thought he would. But the linebacker room is so deep. Like there's so much depth that you just have to wonder what that looks like. And it's just like, how is he going to make the team? Well, he ended up making the practice squad, and now he's promoted to the big squad. So I'm going to tell you who it is, why it is in this video. That's my point in this video, is not telling you who it is so much, but why they brought him in this surprising move. So here you see it. This is via Sideline Report. Dan Campbell explained why Trevor Nowaske was promoted to the Lions active roster. And here's what it was. There's a couple things on this. He said, yeah, he was being poached potentially. What? Campbell said, we didn't want to lose him. We felt like we had the flexibility to make that move. We felt like we're going to need him before it's all said and done. In other words, he is part of the plans, if not this year, going forward, future plans. I'm telling you right now, you're going to see this guy get snaps. He's going to get snaps in the Chargers game, at least on special teams. I'm not saying he's going to play during the actual games, but he is going to get or during offense and defense. I don't know why I said actual game. Like special teams is clearly part of the actual game, but I think you're going to see him there, and I'm going to tell you why in a second. But here's my question for you as we're 2 minutes into this video. Do you like this move? We ended up getting rid of Divine Ozigbo to get him. He, by the way, came back to the practice squad. He hasn't showed anything. I'd be very surprised if another team poached him. And even if they did, like, we can get another running back. We have Montgomery coming back. Gibbs has proven to be what he is. Craig Reynolds is solid. Like, we're good there, right? So this was interesting. So here's what he further explained on what he liked about Nowaske. He said, we like where he's going. He's another young guy that we've got on this roster that's really developing and growing. That's a good room. All 7, you heard that right, 7 of those guys, counting him. It's an outstanding room between what they're able to do defensively, but also, there it is, special teams. We rely on them for a lot. So he was a guy we didn't want to lose. All right, I'm going to make a really weird analogy right now. Dan Campbell and Brad Holmes have kind of started to show that they like to use linebackers almost like you can use versatile wings in the NBA. They're people who can do everything. And if you have a good wing, they can play defense, position 1 through 4. They can shoot the 3, right? They can score around the rim. They can handle the ball a little bit. And a versatile linebacker is kind of the same. He's kind of the same. He can block on special teams with a punt and kick return. He has enough speed and athleticism not to be lost out there. He has enough strength to do the duties of the big guy stuff. And also, it just goes, without saying, linebacker is the perfect type of guy to have on a punt or kick coverage type of team. But especially this type of linebacker. And I actually did not see Chris's video that he put on this, but I don't know if he shared with you the RAS score or the RAS, the relative athletic score. This is a stupid score. He was the 38th most athletic linebacker ever tested in the combine. Ever. Like, we see Jack Campbell's up there in like a top 5 type of situation, right? This dude's sitting here at 38. Look at this speed. 4.5 40-yard dash. 2.65 split. 1.59 10-yard split. Not to mention his agility grade is elite. And then you have explosion and size, which are both good. This is an insane measurables. This guy's measurables over here with his speed and agility measure safety type speed and agility, not linebacker, safety. That's why in that final preseason game, we saw him all over the field in special teams. And I know he's raw, and I know there's things he's going to have to learn. And I know he's coming from a Division II program, but that hasn't stopped this team in the past. All right. That has not stopped this team in the past. And by the way, there are good players coming out of the GLIAC. All right. And that is the conference. I believe that's still the conference that Saginaw Valley State's in. That's Ferris State. That's Grand Valley State. That's where I went to school, Grand Valley. All right. You got guys like Matthew Judon that come out of this conference. There are good players that come out of it. But here's what I will say, and I'll just go further into this a little bit. When you look at the Detroit Lions depth chart, all right, we know what I like to call the big four linebackers. You have Derek Barnes, Jack Campbell, Alex Anzalone, and Malcolm Rodriguez. Like, those are the four guys everybody knows are around. And then you have the special teams aces. You have Anthony Pittman and Jalen Reeves-Maben. You got Pitt and Reeves-Maben. That's what you have. That's all you need. But if another guy's going to get poached, a guy like Trevor Nowaske is a big, big deal. And it's because Jalen Reeves-Maben's here on a one-year deal. Pittman, one of those guys who is starting to age, good players. All right, Jalen Reeves-Maben's more athletic. Pittman's just solid. One of those guys, Trevor Nowaske is going to replace next year on this roster. He is. And you don't know, in a couple years, Alex Anzalone, he is going to be getting older. His contract's going to be running up. They probably are going to have him next year. And then the year after that, based on his contract, he probably won't be here anymore. So if you have a guy that you can get as an undrafted free agent, undrafted rookie free agent, if you have a guy that can come in and play special teams right now, and then when you have Jack Campbell, all right, starting, when you have possibly Derek Barnes starting, or even Rodrigo, he can come in and he can play that depth piece in a couple years. We saw this with Jalen Reeves-Maben. We saw the development of him to the point that he was a starting linebacker for a year and a half. And now, as he's gotten older, he's gone back to just being a special teams ace. I think Trevor Nowaske can be that guy going forward. The future is huge with him. And I'm not just saying that. Like, you see the athletic score. You saw it pop in the preseason. I'm not expecting you guys to go back and watch preseason football. I'm the nerd. Okay. I'm the nerd. All right. But you saw it pop in preseason football. You see him be the 38th most athletic linebacker ever tested. And you see a coaching staff that has proven they can develop players. This is good. All right. Thanks for watching. I talked for that on a long time. I didn't think I would get that excited about a guy being signed to our squad from the practice squad in week 9 or week 10 of the regular season, but I am. All right. Sounds good. Thanks for watching. Like, subscribe, leave a comment. Are you as excited about him as I am?